Invoicing is an important part of every business. Automating invoices helps businesses to save time and money. Fortunately, there are many online services that can automate this process. They give bunch of templates to choose from, but things can get tricky if you have complex pricing rules. That's when businesses go back to Excel to create invoice templates with whatever pricing rules they need. Here is an example of an invoice template. There is quantity and description sections, unit prices calculated from a lookup table, and a pricing list. There is also other parameters that can be configured like discount rates and sales tax. As you enter your order, subtotals are calculated. Discount rate is pulled from the discount table using the lookup formulas. Then sales tax and total due is also calculated. This is relatively a simple pricing model, and this can be as complex as needed. For example, you can introduce a customer-based discount logic or location-based sales tax. And in this video, we will show you how to turn this invoice template into a web application with SpreadsheetWeb Hub. First, log into your SpreadsheetWeb Hub account and go to your Applications page. Click on Create New Application button. Next thing is to upload your Excel model and click on Create Application. To build your application's user interface, click on Go to Designer and choose User Interface. In this page, you can drag and drop any input control and associate that with one of the named ranges in Excel workbook. You can do that one by one, or SpreadsheetWeb has an ability that lets you select a worksheet and import all name ranges in that worksheet all at once. Next step is to put all of them in an order. By adding sections, you can design the layout according to your needs. We added labels, one with the company information and other one with the invoice title, invoice number, and date. We also used another section for inputs, put them in a desired order, and changed labels to display in the application. Next, we will design the part of the interface where the units are entered. This was a table in Excel workbook, and in SpreadsheetWeb, this section is detected and added to the user interface as a grid control. As you can see, all labels and the other properties are automatically detected by the system, but these can be changed when it's needed. The final part of the interface is to insert the calculated fields. We will add a new section and select a two-column layout. To add calculated fields, you can add an output control and design it accordingly to your Excel workbook. The way to add a calculated cell is again through the named ranges. Using double curly braces will give you all options available. You can simply select the field that you want to add. You can also add number formatting. You can do the same thing for other fields as well. The final step of the UI is to add an action button and associate this button with a save action. Now, you can preview the user interface by simply choosing Preview from the menu on the top right corner. When it's loaded, you will be able to see how your application will look like. Here you can see all the sections and fields you added to your application. To capture each invoice created to the system, you need to create a database table. To do this, go to the Database tab and click on Create New. Here you can choose to add all fields one by one, or you can use Add Used Columns option, which lets system to add all of the input fields used in your application at once. This option will show you each input for confirmation, or to change the input's data type, name, or size. If the default selection is OK, click on the Next button, but if changes are needed, you can make them before saving that field. Now all the inputs are added to the database with one exception, the grid control. SpreadsheetWeb has an ability to add that section as a secondary table. To do that, go back to the Database tab and click on Add a Secondary Table. There you will see two options. First, one-to-one table, and the second one is to one-to-many table. In this particular case, we have one-to-many table since for a given invoice there can be multiple item entries. So we will choose one-to-many and hit Create Database. Next, you need to choose the named range related with the grid control and check the header information box if there is one. Again, it will detect all fields and you can choose to go with the detected selections or make changes if needed. When you're done, click on Finish. Your secondary table will be created. The application is now ready to use. Optionally, you can choose to add a style sheet to the application to change the look of it. To edit, go to the Style Sheet module and click on Add Style Sheet. SpreadsheetWeb has a library of style sheets that you can choose from, or you can also choose to create your own style sheet or to modify an existing one. When you're done, click on Update. The style sheet will be applied to your application immediately. Now let's preview and see how the application looks like. As you can see, all the inputs, grid functionality, calculated fields, and finally our Submit button is there. Remember, the application has a responsive design. If you change the width, it will respond accordingly. The application is ready to use, so our very last step is to publish it. You can click on Publish from the top right menu. When your application is published for everyone who has the access, can go to their applications page and click on View Published Version to use the application. When it's loaded, simply fill the input fields and the output fields will be calculated accordingly. When you're done, click on the Submit button. The invoice will be saved to the application's database. To see the saved records, go back to your applications page and click on the View Applications Data icon. The saved records will be displayed on this page. Here you can see the record we have just saved. If you need to edit a record, you can simply click on the Edit icon. But note that the saved records can be edited only by the users who has edit access. When the icon is clicked, the invoice along with the saved data will be loaded and Users can simply make necessary changes, then click on Submit button again to update invoice. Changes will be saved to the database immediately. And this is how to turn a custom invoice template into a web application with SpreadsheetWeb Hub. Thanks for watching.